Hello and welcome to the Mindful Zone. Whether you're here because you're feeling overwhelmed, searching for peace, or simply curious about how small changes can lead to big transformations, this video is for you. Today we'll explore the ancient wisdom of Buddhism, meditation and mindfulness, and discover how they can help us improve our lives by just 1% every day. You might be wondering, what does improving my life by 1% even mean? Well, imagine this. If you were to get just 1% better each day in just 1 year, you'd be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of incremental growth. And today I'm going to share with you practical steps inspired by Buddhist teachings to make that possible. Let's take a moment to reflect on where you are right now. Life moves fast. We're constantly bombarded with distractions, responsibilities, and expectations. It's easy to feel like we're stuck or not making progress. But what if I told you that the secret to transformation lies in slowing down, not speeding up? What if the key isn't doing more, but being more intentional about the little things? Buddhism teaches us that true happiness comes from within. It's not about achieving external success or accumulating material wealth. It's about cultivating inner peace, clarity, and compassion. These principles aren't reserved for monks or spiritual gurus. They're accessible to everyone, including you. In this video, we'll break down 10 simple yet profound ways you can apply Buddhist wisdom to your daily life. Each chapter will focus on a specific practice or mindset shift that can help you grow by just 1% every day. From mindfulness and meditation to gratitude and ethical living, these tools are designed to empower you to live with greater awareness and purpose. I want to emphasize that this journey is personal. There's no one-size-fits-all approach to self-improvement. Some days your 1% might look like taking 5 minutes to breathe deeply. Other days, it might mean forgiving yourself for a mistake or reaching out to someone who needs support. The beauty of this method is its flexibility. It adapts to your unique circumstances while keeping you aligned with your goals. Before we dive into the chapters, I invite you to set an intention for watching this video. Ask yourself, what am I hoping to gain from this experience? Maybe you're looking for practical tips to reduce stress. Perhaps you're seeking inspiration to create positive habits. Or maybe you just need a reminder that you're capable of change. Whatever your reason, hold on to it as we move forward. As we embark on this exploration together, remember that improvement doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Tiny shifts compound over time, creating lasting impact. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's begin this journey 1% at a time. Chapter 1, The Power of Small Changes. In Buddhism, there's a profound teaching known as anicca, which means impermanence. Everything in life is constantly changing, even if it doesn't seem like it at first glance. This understanding reminds us that transformation doesn't have to happen overnight. In fact, the smallest changes, the ones so subtle you barely notice them, are often the most powerful. Think about it. A river carves a canyon not through one dramatic event, but through the steady flow of water over thousands of years. Similarly, improving your life by just 1% every day might feel insignificant in the moment, but over time, those tiny shifts add up to create monumental growth. Let's break this down further. Imagine waking up tomorrow and deciding to drink 1 extra glass of water. On its own, that act might not seem like much, but what if you committed to doing it every single day? Over weeks and months, that habit could improve your hydration levels, boost your energy, and even enhance your skin's appearance. Now imagine stacking another small change on top of that, like taking 3 deep breaths before starting your day. Again, it's a minor adjustment, but when practiced consistently, it trains your mind to approach challenges with calmness instead of reactivity. Layering these micro habits creates a ripple effect, leading to significant improvements without overwhelming you. The beauty of focusing on small changes lies in their accessibility. It's easy to get discouraged when we set lofty goals or try to overhaul our entire lives all at once. We think, I need to meditate for an hour every day. or I need to completely revamp my diet. When we inevitably fall short, we feel like failures and give up altogether. But what if instead we lowered the bar? What if success wasn't measured by perfection but by consistency? By aiming for just 1% improvement each day, you remove the pressure to be flawless while still moving forward. Take brushing your teeth, for example. You don't see immediate results after one session, but over time, consistent care prevents cavities and keeps your smile healthy. The same principle applies to personal growth. If you commit to reading just 2 pages of a book daily within a year, you'll have read dozens of books. If you choose to walk an extra 1,000 steps every day by the end of the year, you'll have walked hundreds of miles. These small acts may seem trivial in isolation, but collectively, they shape who you are and how you experience life. Now let's talk about why people struggle to implement small changes effectively. One common obstacle is underestimating their potential impact. Many of us believe that unless we make drastic moves, nothing will change. This mindset stems from societal conditioning. We're taught to value quick fixes and instant gratification, but real sustainable progress requires patience and persistence. Another challenge is maintaining motivation. When you don't see immediate results, it's tempting to abandon the effort altogether. However, this is where faith in the process becomes crucial. Trust that every step, no matter how small, contributes to your larger journey. To illustrate this point, consider the story of a man named James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. He emphasizes the concept of atomic habits, tiny behaviors that, when repeated consistently, lead to remarkable outcomes. For instance, if you improved your skills by just 1% daily after a year, you'd be nearly 38 times better than when you started. Conversely, if you allowed yourself to decline by 1% daily, you'd essentially erase your abilities entirely. This demonstrates the dual-edged sword of incremental change. Small actions can either propel you toward greatness or pull you into stagnation. The choice is yours. So, how do you identify what constitutes a meaningful 1% improvement for you? Start by reflecting on areas of your life where you want to grow. Is it your physical health, your mental well-being, your relationships? Once you've pinpointed a specific area, brainstorm simple actions you can take to nudge yourself forward. For example, if you want to eat healthier, perhaps your 1% involves swapping out one sugary snack for a piece of fruit. If you're looking to strengthen your relationships, maybe it's sending a thoughtful text to a loved one each week. The key is to keep it manageable and aligned with your values. Another essential aspect of embracing small changes is celebrating progress along the way. Often we dismiss our efforts because they don't meet some arbitrary standard of success. Instead, practice acknowledging and appreciating the work you're putting in. Did you manage to meditate for 5 minutes today? That's worth celebrating. Did you resist the urge to snap at someone during a stressful moment? Celebrate that too. By shifting your focus from outcomes to effort, you cultivate a sense of accomplishment that fuels continued growth. It's also important to recognize that setbacks are part of the process. There will be days when you miss your 1% goal or forget about it entirely. That's okay. What matters isn't perfection, it's resilience. Each time you stumble, remind yourself that tomorrow offers a fresh opportunity to begin again. Progress isn't linear, and neither is life. Be kind to yourself as you navigate this path. Finally, remember that small changes aren't just about achieving external results. They're also about fostering inner transformation. As you commit to improving by 1% daily, you develop qualities like discipline, patience, and self-awareness. These traits serve you far beyond any specific goal you set. They become the foundation upon which you build a more fulfilling, purpose-driven life. In summary, the power of small changes lies in their ability to create lasting impact without overwhelming you. By embracing the philosophy of 1% improvement, you align yourself with the natural rhythm of growth, one step, one breath, one moment at a time. So ask yourself right now, what's one tiny thing I could do tomorrow to feel just little bit better. Maybe it's drinking more water, taking 3 deep breaths before starting your day, or smiling at someone new. Whatever it is, trust that it matters, because when you string together enough of these small, intentional actions, you create a life that reflects the best version of yourself. Chapter 2, Mindfulness, the gateway to inner peace. Mindfulness is one of the most transformative practices rooted in Buddhist teachings, and it serves as a gateway to inner peace, a state many of us long for, but often struggle to find. At its core, mindfulness is simply being present in the moment, fully aware of where you are and what you're doing, without judgment. It sounds deceptively simple, yet in our fast-paced, distraction-filled world, staying present isn't always easy. But with consistent practice, mindfulness can become a powerful tool to reduce stress, enhance focus, and cultivate a deeper sense of well-being. To understand mindfulness more deeply, let's explore its origins within Buddhism. In the Buddhist tradition, mindfulness is referred to as sati, which means awareness or attention. It's about observing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without clinging to them or pushing them away. This non-judgmental awareness allows you to step back from the chaos of your mind and see things as they truly are, rather than through the lens of reactivity or assumption. By cultivating this skill, you create space between yourself and your experiences, empowering you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Now let's break down what mindfulness looks like in everyday life. Imagine you're eating a meal. How often do you truly savor each bite, noticing the flavors, textures, and aromas? More likely, you're scrolling through your phone thinking about your to-do list or rushing to finish so you can move on to the next task. Mindful eating, on the other hand, involves slowing down and paying attention to the experience. You notice the crunch of fresh vegetables, the warmth of soup, or the sweetness of fruit. This not only enhances your enjoyment, but also helps you tune into your body's hunger and fullness cues, promoting healthier eating habits. The same principle applies to any activity, whether it's walking, washing dishes, or having a conversation. When you bring mindfulness into these moments, you transform mundane tasks into opportunities for connection and presence. For example, when you walk mindfully, you feel the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breath, and the breeze against your skin. Suddenly, something as ordinary as a stroll becomes a meditation in motion, grounding you in the here and now. One of the reasons mindfulness is so effective is that it interrupts the cycle of rumination, the endless loop of overthinking that keeps us stuck in the past or future. Have you ever found yourself replaying an argument from yesterday or worrying about a meeting next week? These mental patterns drain your energy and rob you of the present moment. Mindfulness gently redirects your attention to the here and now, breaking the grip of repetitive thoughts. Over time, this practice rewires your brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with calmness and clarity while weakening those tied to anxiety and stress. Scientific research supports the benefits of mindfulness as well. Studies show that regular mindfulness practice reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety, improves sleep quality, boosts immune function, and even enhances cognitive performance. One study conducted at Harvard University found that just 8 weeks of mindfulness meditation led to measurable changes in brain structure, including increased gray matter density in regions linked to memory, empathy, and emotional regulation. These findings underscore the profound impact mindfulness can have on both your mental and physical health. So, how do you begin practicing mindfulness? Start small. You don't need to sit cross-legged for hours or achieve some mystical state of enlightenment. All it takes is a willingness to pay attention. One of the simplest ways to cultivate mindfulness is through focused breathing. Try this. Wherever you are right now, take a deep breath in, hold it for 2 seconds, and exhale slowly. As you breathe, notice the sensation of air entering and leaving your nostrils. Feel your chest rise and fall. If your mind wanders, and it will, Gently guide your attention back to your breath without criticizing yourself. This act of returning trains your mind to stay present and builds the muscle of mindfulness. Another accessible method is body scanning. This involves mentally moving through different parts of your body, noticing any tension, discomfort, or relaxation. Begin at the top of your head and work your way down to your toes. For instance, you might notice tightness in your shoulders or heaviness in your legs. Simply observe these sensations without trying to change them. Body scanning not only increases bodily awareness but also anchors you in the present moment, making it a valuable tool for managing stress. Mindfulness can also be practiced during daily activities. Next time you brush your teeth, try focusing entirely on the experience. Notice the taste of the toothpaste, the sound of the bristles against your teeth, and the feeling of water rinsing your mouth. By bringing full attention to such routines, you infuse them with intention and meaning. Similarly, when engaging in conversations, practice listening mindfully. Instead of planning your response while the other person is speaking, give them your undivided attention. Hear their words, observe their tone, and notice their body language. This fosters deeper connections and demonstrates respect for the person you're interacting with. Despite its simplicity, mindfulness requires patience and persistence. It's natural to encounter resistance or frustration, especially if you're new to the practice. Your mind will wander and distractions will arise. That's perfectly normal. The key is to approach these challenges with kindness and curiosity. Rather than viewing lapses in focus as failures, see them as opportunities to strengthen your mindfulness muscle. Each time you bring your attention back to the present, you reinforce your ability to stay grounded. For those seeking additional support, guided meditations can be incredibly helpful. Apps, podcasts, and online resources offer a wide range of options tailored to various needs and preferences. Whether you're looking to relieve stress, improve sleep, or boost productivity, there's likely a guided meditation designed to meet your goals. These tools provide structure and encouragement, making it easier to establish a consistent practice. Incorporating mindfulness into your life doesn't require drastic changes. It's about weaving small moments of presence into your day. Perhaps you set aside 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly and breathe. Or maybe you dedicate part of your lunch break to enjoying your meal without distractions. Over time, these pockets of mindfulness accumulate, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond individual moments. You start to notice subtle shifts in how you perceive and interact with the world. Challenges feel less overwhelming, relationships become richer, and joy becomes more accessible. It's worth noting that mindfulness isn't a quick fix or a magic pill. It's a lifelong journey of learning and growth. There will be days when you feel deeply connected to the present moment, and others when your mind feels scattered and restless. Both states are part of the process. What matters is showing up consistently, trusting that every effort contributes to your overall well-being. Ultimately, mindfulness invites you to reclaim your power. Instead of being swept away by external circumstances or internal chatter, you learn to anchor yourself in the present. This sense of stability enables you to navigate life's ups and downs with greater resilience and grace. Whether you're facing a difficult decision, dealing with uncertainty, or simply savoring a quiet moment, mindfulness equips you with the tools to respond with wisdom and compassion. In conclusion, mindfulness is much more than a buzzword. It's a practical, evidence-based practice that can profoundly enhance your life. By committing to being present, even in small ways, you open the door to inner peace and self-discovery. So today I encourage you to choose one activity and approach it mindfully. Pay attention to the details, immerse yourself in the experience, and see how it feels to truly live in the moment. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with embracing the power of mindfulness. Chapter 3: Meditation, Training Your Mind Like a Muscle. Meditation is one of the most profound tools for personal growth, deeply rooted in Buddhist teachings, and it serves as a cornerstone for improving your life by 1% every day Think of meditation as training your mind like a muscle. Just as physical exercise strengthens your body, meditation strengthens your mind, enhancing focus, emotional resilience, and overall well-being. The beauty of meditation lies in its simplicity. Anyone can practice it regardless of age, background, or experience level. But to truly understand its power, let's delve into why meditation matters, how it works, and how you can integrate it into your daily routine. At its essence, meditation is about cultivating awareness and stillness. In Buddhism, meditation is referred to as bhavana, which means mental development or cultivation. It's not about emptying your mind or achieving some mystical state. Rather, it's about observing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment or judgment. This process allows you to step back from the constant chatter of your mind and develop a deeper understanding of yourself. Over time, this practice creates space between stimulus and response, empowering you to navigate life with greater clarity and intention. Now, let's explore what happens when you meditate. When you sit quietly and focus on your breath or another point of concentration, you're essentially giving your mind a break from its usual patterns of overthinking and multitasking. Modern life bombards us with stimuli, notifications, deadlines, social expectations, and endless information. Our brains are wired to process all of this, but without proper rest, they become overwhelmed. Meditation acts as a reset button, allowing your mind to recharge and recalibrate. Scientific studies have shown that regular meditation reduces activity in the amygdala, the part of the brain responsible for the fight or flight response, and increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, which governs decision-making and self-control. These changes translate to reduced stress, improved emotional regulation, and enhanced cognitive function. One of the most common misconceptions about meditation is that it requires hours of sitting in silence. In reality, even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. If you're new to meditation, start small. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed, sit comfortably, either on a chair or cushion, and close your eyes. Focus on your breath, feeling the air enter and leave your nostrils, noticing the rise and fall of your chest. Don't try to control your breathing, simply observe it. As thoughts arise, and they will, acknowledge them without judgment and gently bring your attention back to your breath. This act of returning trains your mind to stay focused and builds mental discipline. Over time, you'll notice subtle shifts in your mental landscape. For example, you might find it easier to concentrate during tasks, experience fewer intrusive thoughts, or feel more grounded in challenging situations. These benefits don't happen overnight, but they accumulate with consistent practice. Much like lifting weights at the gym, the key is repetition and patience. Each session strengthens your ability to remain present and calm. There are many types of meditation, each offering unique benefits. One popular form is mindfulness meditation, which we discussed in the previous chapter. This involves paying attention to the present moment, whether through focusing on your breath, bodily sensations, or sounds around you. Another type is loving-kindness meditation, or metta, which cultivates compassion and kindness toward yourself and others. To practice metta, silently repeat phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be safe." Then extend these wishes to loved ones, acquaintances, and eventually, all beings everywhere. This practice fosters empathy and connection, qualities that enrich both your inner world and your relationships. For those seeking structure, guided meditations can be incredibly helpful. These involve following along with an instructor who provides prompts and encouragement throughout the session. Many apps and online platforms offer guided meditations tailored to specific goals, such as reducing anxiety, improving sleep, or boosting creativity. Whether you prefer traditional seated meditation or something more dynamic like walking meditation, there's no right or wrong way to meditate. The goal is to find a method that resonates with you and fits seamlessly into your lifestyle. Another powerful aspect of meditation is its ability to foster self-awareness. During meditation, you become an observer of your thoughts and emotions, recognizing patterns that may have gone unnoticed before. For instance, you might realize that certain triggers consistently lead to feelings of anger or frustration. This awareness gives you the opportunity to address these patterns constructively, rather than being controlled by them. Over time, you develop a healthier relationship with your mind, learning to respond to challenges with equanimity instead of reactivity. Of course, starting a meditation practice isn't always easy. Distractions abound, and it's tempting to give up when progress feels slow. But remember, meditation isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. There will be days when your mind feels restless, and that's okay. What matters is showing up, even if only for a few minutes. Consistency is far more important than intensity. Consider setting a realistic goal, such as meditating for 5 minutes every morning or evening. Once this becomes a habit, you can gradually increase the duration as you feel comfortable. In addition to its psychological benefits, meditation has been shown to positively impact physical health. Research indicates that regular meditation lowers blood pressure, improves immune function, and reduces inflammation. It also promotes better sleep by calming the nervous system and quieting racing thoughts. For anyone struggling with insomnia or restlessness, incorporating meditation into your bedtime routine can be transformative. Beyond individual benefits, meditation contributes to collective well-being. When you cultivate inner peace, you radiate that energy outward, influencing those around you. Imagine a ripple effect. As you become more centered and compassionate, you inspire others to do the same. This creates a positive feedback loop, fostering harmony and connection in your community. Let's talk about practical tips for establishing a sustainable meditation practice. First, create a dedicated space where you can meditate without interruptions. This doesn't need to be elaborate. A corner of your room with a cushion or chair will suffice. Second, establish a routine. Meditating at the same time each day helps reinforce the habit, whether it's first thing in the morning, during a lunch break, or before bed. Third, use reminders or cues to prompt your practice. For example, you might associate meditation with brushing your teeth or drinking your morning coffee. Finally, be gentle with yourself. Progress in meditation isn't linear, and setbacks are part of the journey. Celebrate small victories and trust that every effort counts. If you're wondering how meditation fits into the broader framework of improving your life by 1%, consider this analogy. Picture a garden. Each day you water the plants, pull weeds, and nurture the soil. Individually, these actions seem minor, but over time, they result in a flourishing ecosystem. Similarly, meditation is like tending to your inner garden. By dedicating a few minutes each day to cultivating awareness and stillness, you lay the foundation for lasting transformation. To deepen your understanding of meditation, it's helpful to reflect on its philosophical underpinnings. In Buddhism, meditation is seen as a path to enlightenment, a state of awakening characterized by wisdom, compassion, and freedom from suffering. While attaining enlightenment may not be your immediate goal, the principles behind meditation, such as impermanence, non-attachment, and interconnectedness, are universally applicable. They remind us that change is inevitable, clinging causes suffering, and we are all part of a larger whole. Embracing these truths fosters humility, gratitude, and a sense of purpose. In summary, meditation is much more than a relaxation technique. It's a powerful tool for personal and spiritual growth. By committing to a daily practice, however brief, you strengthen your mind, enhance your well-being, and align yourself with the natural flow of life. So today I invite you to carve out a few moments for meditation. Sit quietly, breathe deeply, and allow yourself to simply be. Trust that every breath you take brings you closer to the best version of yourself. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with nurturing your mind, one meditation session at a time. Chapter 4, Cultivating Compassion. Loving kindness, meditation. Compassion is one of the most beautiful and transformative qualities we can cultivate, and it lies at the heart of Buddhist teachings. In fact, compassion isn't just a feeling, it's an action, a practice, a way of being that has the power to heal not only ourselves but also the world around us. Today we'll explore how cultivating compassion through loving kindness meditation or metta can profoundly improve your life by 1% every day. This practice invites you to open your heart, connect with others, and foster a sense of unity and kindness that transcends boundaries. At its core, compassion means recognizing suffering, whether in yourself or others, and responding with care and empathy. It's about seeing beyond differences and understanding that all beings share a common desire for happiness and freedom from pain. In Buddhism, compassion is considered inseparable from wisdom. When combined, these two qualities create a balanced and harmonious life. Wisdom allows us to see things as they truly are, while compassion motivates us to act with love and kindness. Together, they form the foundation of ethical living and personal growth. Loving-kindness meditation, or metta, is a specific practice designed to awaken compassion within us. The word metta comes from Pali, an ancient language of Buddhist scriptures, and translates to loving-kindness or friendliness. The goal of this meditation is to generate feelings of goodwill, warmth, and unconditional love toward all beings, including ourselves. While it may sound idealistic, metta is deeply practical. It helps dissolve barriers like anger, resentment, and fear, replacing them with connection, forgiveness, and peace. Over time, this practice reshapes how we relate to ourselves and others, fostering a more compassionate and fulfilling life. To understand why metta is so powerful, let's examine its effects on the mind and body. Research shows that practicing loving-kindness meditation increases positive emotions, reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety, and enhances social connection. One study found that participants who engaged in metta reported greater feelings of joy, gratitude, and hope even weeks after completing the practice. Another study revealed that metta activates areas of the brain associated with empathy and emotional regulation, strengthening our ability to feel and express compassion. These findings highlight the profound impact of intentionally nurturing kindness, not just for others, but for ourselves as well. Now let's talk about how to practice loving-kindness meditation. Begin by finding a quiet space where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then, silently repeat phrases of goodwill starting with yourself. For example, you might say, "May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe, may I live with ease." Feel these words resonate in your heart, allowing them to fill you with warmth and care. Once you've directed loving kindness toward yourself, expand your focus outward. Picture someone you love, a family member, friend, or mentor, and silently wish them the same blessings. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. As you do this, visualize their face and imagine them receiving your wishes with gratitude. Next, extend these sentiments to neutral individuals, people you encounter daily but don't have strong feelings about, such as a cashier or co-worker. Finally, challenge yourself to include difficult people in your practice. This could be someone who has hurt you or caused conflict. Wishing them happiness doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior. Rather, it reflects your commitment to breaking cycles of negativity and fostering healing. The final step is to broaden your scope even further, sending loving kindness to all beings everywhere. Silently repeat phrases like, "May all beings be happy, may all beings be healthy, may all beings be safe, may all beings live with ease." Imagine this energy radiating outward, touching every corner of the world. Though it may feel abstract at first, this universal extension reminds us of our interconnectedness. Every action we take ripples outward, influencing countless lives in ways we may never fully comprehend. One of the most remarkable aspects of metta is its ability to soften the edges of our ego. Often, we get caught up in self-centered thinking, prioritizing our needs above others. While self-care is essential, excessive self-focus can lead to isolation and dissatisfaction. Loving kindness meditation counteracts this tendency by shifting our perspective outward. When we genuinely wish for others' happiness, we tap into a deeper sense of purpose and belonging. This shift benefits not only those around us, but also ourselves, as compassion has been shown to increase feelings of fulfillment and reduce stress. Practicing metta also teaches us to embrace imperfection and vulnerability. Many people struggle with self-compassion, believing that kindness toward oneself equates to selfishness or weakness. However, treating yourself with gentleness and understanding is crucial for mental health and resilience. By including yourself in your loving-kindness practice, you affirm your worthiness of care and support. This internal shift lays the groundwork for healthier relationships, as we cannot give what we do not possess. When we nurture compassion within ourselves, we naturally extend it to others. It's important to note that metta isn't always easy, especially when directing loving kindness toward difficult individuals. You might encounter resistance or discomfort, and that's perfectly normal. Instead of forcing yourself to feel warmth immediately, approach the practice with curiosity and patience. Acknowledge any negative emotions that arise without judgment, and gently guide your attention back to your intentions. Over time, you'll notice subtle changes in how you perceive challenging relationships. What once felt overwhelming may begin to feel manageable, and what once seemed insurmountable may start to soften. Beyond its psychological benefits, compassion has a ripple effect that extends far beyond individual interactions. When you treat others with kindness, you inspire them to do the same. Think about a time when someone showed you unexpected generosity or understanding. It likely brightened your day and encouraged you to pay it forward. Similarly, when you embody compassion, you contribute to a culture of care and cooperation. This collective shift has the potential to transform communities, workplaces, and societies at large. Let's discuss some practical ways to integrate compassion into your daily life outside of formal meditation. Start by paying attention to small opportunities for kindness throughout the day. Smile at a stranger, hold the door open for someone, or offer a listening ear to a friend in need. These seemingly minor acts accumulate, creating a web of positivity that uplifts everyone involved. Additionally, reflect on how you speak to yourself and others. Words carry immense power, and choosing language rooted in kindness can significantly impact both your mindset and your relationships. Another powerful aspect of compassion is its role in conflict resolution. When disagreements arise, it's tempting to react defensively or aggressively. However, approaching conflicts with compassion allows you to see situations from multiple perspectives, fostering mutual understanding and collaboration. For instance, instead of assuming malintent, ask yourself, what might this person be experiencing that led to their behavior? This simple shift can diffuse tension and pave the way for constructive dialogue. Finally, let's address the long-term benefits of cultivating compassion. As you consistently practice metta and incorporate kindness into your daily life, you'll notice profound shifts in your overall well-being. Relationships become richer and more meaningful, stress levels decrease, and a sense of purpose emerges. Moreover, compassion strengthens your resilience, enabling you to navigate challenges with grace and courage. Even in moments of hardship, remembering your capacity for love and connection provides solace and strength. In summary, compassion is a cornerstone of personal growth and spiritual development. Through loving kindness meditation, you awaken the innate potential for kindness within yourself, creating a foundation for lasting transformation. By committing to this practice, even in small ways, you align yourself with the values of empathy, unity, and service. So today I invite you to dedicate a few minutes to metta. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and send wishes of happiness and peace to yourself and others. Trust that each repetition brings you closer to a more compassionate and joyful existence. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with opening your heart, one loving kindness meditation at a time. Chapter 5. Letting go of attachments. One of the most profound teachings in Buddhism is the concept of attachment, and how clinging to people, possessions, and outcomes can lead to suffering. This principle might sound counterintuitive at first, especially in a world that often equates success with acquiring more money, more achievements, more validation. When we examine the nature of attachment, we begin to see how it limits our freedom and creates unnecessary pain. Today we'll explore why letting go of attachments is essential for improving your life by 1% every day. and how this practice can help you cultivate peace, clarity, and resilience. At its core, attachment refers to the tendency to cling to things, whether tangible or intangible, with the belief that they will bring lasting happiness or security. In Buddhism, this clinging is seen as one of the root causes of suffering, or dukkha. The Buddha taught that everything in life is impermanent, including relationships, material possessions, and even our own bodies. When we attach ourselves to these fleeting elements, expecting them to remain unchanged, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. For example, imagine buying a new car. At first, it brings excitement and pride, but over time, that initial thrill fades as the car ages or requires repairs. If your happiness is tied to the car's condition, you'll inevitably feel let down. Letting go of attachments doesn't mean abandoning everything you care about or living without desires altogether. Instead, it's about shifting your perspective, recognizing that while certain things may bring temporary joy, true fulfillment comes from within. By releasing the need to control external circumstances, you free yourself to experience life more fully, embracing both its highs and lows with equanimity. This mindset not only reduces suffering but also opens the door to greater creativity, adaptability, and inner peace. To understand the mechanics of attachment, let's delve into some common examples. One prevalent form of attachment is clinging to material possessions. We live in a consumer-driven society where advertising constantly tells us that happiness lies in acquiring the latest gadgets, clothes, or luxury items. While there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying material comforts, problems arise when we define our worth or well-being by what we own. Consider someone who feels incomplete without their designer wardrobe or state-of-the-art technology. If these items are lost, damaged, or replaced by newer models, they may experience anxiety, envy, or dissatisfaction. By contrast, someone who practices non-attachment views possessions as tools to enhance life rather than sources of identity or validation. Another form of attachment involves relationships. It's natural to love and care deeply for family, friends, and partners, but issues arise when we become overly dependent on others for our happiness or self-esteem. For instance, imagine basing your sense of purpose solely on a romantic relationship. If the partnership ends or faces challenges, you might feel devastated, questioning your value or direction. Practicing non-attachment in relationships means cherishing connections without clinging to them. You appreciate the present moment with loved ones, knowing that change is inevitable, and you trust in your ability to navigate transitions gracefully. Expectations are another subtle yet powerful form of attachment. Whether it's expecting a promotion at work, anticipating a perfect vacation, or assuming others will behave a certain way, met expectations often lead to disappointment. The problem isn't having goals or aspirations, it's rigidly holding on to specific outcomes. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned, and flexibility is key to navigating its unpredictability. For example, instead of fixating on landing a particular job, focus on developing skills and cultivating gratitude for the opportunities you do have. This approach allows you to adapt to circumstances while maintaining a sense of calm and purpose. Now, let's talk about practical strategies for letting go of attachments. One effective method is mindfulness, which we explored earlier in this series. Mindfulness helps you observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing you to identify patterns of attachment. For instance, if you notice feelings of jealousy or possessiveness arising, pause and ask yourself, what am I clinging to? Why does this matter so much? Simply becoming aware of your attachments is the first step toward releasing them. Another technique is practicing gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, reducing the urge to seek fulfillment externally. Take a few moments each day to reflect on the blessings in your life, your health, supportive relationships, access to food and shelter, or even small pleasures like sunlight streaming through a window. As you cultivate appreciation for the present moment, you naturally loosen your grip on future desires or past regrets. Journaling can also be a valuable tool for exploring attachment. Write about situations where you felt stuck or frustrated due to clinging to something beyond your control. Perhaps you obsessed over a missed opportunity, dwelled on a mistake, or fixated on someone else's opinion of you. Use your writing to process these experiences and reframe them with compassion and understanding. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to let go and move forward. A particularly challenging aspect of releasing attachments is confronting fear. Fear of loss, failure, or uncertainty often drives us to cling tightly to what we know, even if it no longer serves us. To overcome this resistance, remind yourself that impermanence is a universal truth. Everything changes: seasons, relationships, careers, even your own body. Rather than resisting this reality, embrace it as an opportunity for growth and renewal. For example, instead of fearing the end of a chapter in your life, view it as a chance to begin anew, trusting that each phase holds unique lessons and possibilities. Letting go of attachments also involves forgiveness, both of yourself and others. Holding on to grudges or guilt keeps you tethered to the past, preventing you to fully engage with the present. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions. Rather, it's about releasing the emotional weight of resentment so you can heal and move forward. Try visualizing the person who hurt you, or even yourself, and silently saying, "I forgive you, I release this pain." Repeat this phrase until you feel a sense of lightness or relief. It's important to acknowledge that letting go isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. You won't wake up one morning completely free of attachments, nor should you expect perfection. What matters is showing up consistently, practicing awareness, and gently redirecting your focus whenever you notice clinging. Celebrate small victories along the way. For instance, choosing to donate unused items instead of hoarding them, or reframing a setback as a learning experience. Each effort contributes to your overall journey toward non-attachment. Beyond personal benefits, releasing attachments fosters greater connection and compassion. When you stop defining yourself by external achievements or possessions, you create space to relate to others authentically. Instead of competing for status or recognition, you collaborate and support those around you. This shift enhances relationships, builds trust, and promotes a sense of community. Additionally, non-attachment aligns with ethical living, encouraging you to prioritize sustainability, generosity, and kindness over selfish pursuits. Finally, let's discuss the spiritual dimension of letting go. In Buddhism, detachment is closely linked to liberation, or nirvana, a state of freedom from suffering and ego-driven desires. While attaining nirvana may not be your immediate goal, the principles underlying non-attachment offer valuable insights for modern life. They remind us that true happiness arises not from acquiring more, but from embracing simplicity, presence, and interconnectedness. By practicing non-attachment, you align yourself with these timeless truths, deepening your understanding of yourself and the world. In summary, letting go of attachments is a transformative practice that empowers you to live with greater freedom, peace, and authenticity. By recognizing the impermanent nature of all things and loosening your grip on external outcomes, you open yourself to infinite possibilities. Each act of release, whether it's donating an unused item, forgiving a past hurt, or reframing an expectation, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward wholeness. So today I invite you to reflect on areas of your life where attachment might be holding you back. Choose one thing to let go of, however small, and observe how it feels to create space for something new. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with embracing the art of letting go. Chapter 6. Gratitude. Finding joy in the present moment. Gratitude is one of the most powerful practices you can incorporate into your daily life, and it aligns beautifully with Buddhist teachings on mindfulness, impermanence, and interconnectedness. At its heart, gratitude is about shifting your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, cultivating a mindset of appreciation for the present moment. It's not just about saying thank you or acknowledging good fortune. It's about recognizing the intricate web of causes and conditions that allow you to experience life as it is. Today we'll explore how practicing gratitude can help you improve your life by 1% every day, fostering joy, resilience, and a deeper sense of connection. In Buddhism, gratitude is deeply intertwined with the concept of dana, or generosity. While dana often refers to giving materially, such as offering food, shelter, or support, it also encompasses an attitude of heartfelt appreciation. When you express gratitude, you acknowledge the kindness and efforts of others, whether through direct actions or subtle contributions. This recognition creates a positive feedback loop. The more you appreciate, the more you inspire generosity in yourself and those around you. Gratitude becomes a form of reciprocity, enriching both giver and receiver. One of the reasons gratitude is so transformative is that it rewires your brain. Modern neuroscience has shown that regularly practicing gratitude activates regions associated with happiness, reward, and social bonding. For example, studies using brain imaging have revealed that people who keep gratitude journals exhibit increased activity at the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, emotional regulation, and empathy. Over time, this rewiring leads to lasting changes in how you perceive and respond to the world, making positivity and contentment feel more natural. Let's break down why gratitude feels so good. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you interrupt patterns of negativity bias, a tendency to prioritize bad experiences over good ones. Evolutionarily, this bias helped our ancestors survive by alerting them to potential threats. However, in modern life, it often leads to unnecessary stress and dissatisfaction. Gratitude counteracts this tendency by redirecting your attention to the positives, no matter how small. For instance, instead of fixating on traffic delays or work frustrations, you might notice the beauty of a sunset, the warmth of a cup of tea, or the laughter of a loved one. These moments may seem minor, but they accumulate, creating a reservoir of joy and resilience. Now let's talk about practical ways to cultivate gratitude. One of the simplest and most effective methods is keeping a gratitude journal. Each night before bed, or at any time that works for you, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't need to be monumental events. They could be as simple as a kind word from a colleague, a delicious meal, or the sound of birds chirping outside your window. The key is consistency. Over weeks and months, this habit trains your mind to seek out and savor positive experiences, enhancing your overall well-being. Another powerful practice is expressing gratitude directly to others. Take a moment to thank someone who has made a difference in your life, whether through a heartfelt conversation, a handwritten note, or even a text message. Be specific about what you're thanking them for. For example, "I'm so grateful for the way you listened to me last week when I was feeling overwhelmed." Not only does this strengthen your relationship, but it also deepens your own sense of connection and appreciation. Research shows that expressing gratitude boosts both the giver's and receiver's happiness, creating a ripple effect of positivity. Gratitude isn't limited to pleasant circumstances, it can also be practiced during challenging times. In fact, some of the most profound opportunities for growth arise when we find something to appreciate in adversity. Imagine losing your job, a situation that would understandably evoke fear and uncertainty. Instead of spiraling into despair, you might reflect on lessons learned, skills gained, or the chance to explore new paths. By reframing difficulties through the lens of gratitude, you transform obstacles into stepping stones, fostering resilience and adaptability. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in cultivating gratitude. When you slow down and pay attention to the details of your surroundings, you begin to notice things you might otherwise overlook. For example, during a walk in nature, you might appreciate the texture of tree bark, the scent of blooming flowers, or the coolness of a breeze against your skin. Similarly, while eating a meal, you might savor each bite, noticing flavors, aromas, and textures. These moments of mindful awareness deepen your appreciation for life's richness, grounding you in the present and amplifying feelings of contentment. It's worth noting that gratitude doesn't erase pain or hardship. Life inevitably includes struggles, losses, and disappointments, and pretending otherwise would be disingenuous. What gratitude does is provide a framework for navigating challenges with greater perspective and grace. By acknowledging the good alongside the difficult, you create balance, preventing negativity from overshadowing your experience. This balanced approach fosters emotional stability and helps you maintain hope even in tough times. Beyond personal benefits, gratitude strengthens communities and fosters collective well-being. When you express appreciation for others' contributions, you reinforce social bonds and inspire acts of kindness. Think about a workplace where colleagues regularly acknowledge each other's efforts versus one where achievements go unnoticed. The former environment likely feels more supportive and motivating, encouraging collaboration and innovation. Similarly, in families, expressing gratitude nurtures trust, empathy, and mutual respect, laying the foundation for healthier relationships. Let's discuss how gratitude intersects with ethical living. In Buddhism, gratitude is closely tied to the principle of interdependence, the idea that all beings are interconnected and rely on one another for survival and flourishing. Recognizing this truth inspires compassion and responsibility toward others. For instance, when you eat a piece of fruit, you might reflect on the farmer who grew it, the workers who transported it, and the soil, sun, and rain that nourished it. This awareness fosters humility and gratitude, reminding you of your place within a larger ecosystem. It also motivates you to act with kindness and sustainability, ensuring that future generations can enjoy similar blessings. A particularly impactful exercise is reflecting on the gratitude chain, the countless factors that contribute to your current experience. For example, consider the device you're using to watch this video. Behind it lies a vast network of engineers, designers, miners, manufacturers, and distributors, not to mention the resources and technologies involved. Each step represents an opportunity to express thanks, deepening your appreciation for the complexity and beauty of life. Finally, let's address common barriers to practicing gratitude. One challenge is comparison, feeling envious of others' successes or possessions. Social media exacerbates this issue, presenting curated versions of reality that can make us feel inadequate. To overcome this, remind yourself that everyone's journey is unique. Focus on your own progress and blessings rather than measuring yourself against others. Another obstacle is taking things for granted. Over time, familiarity breeds indifference, causing us to overlook everyday wonders. Combat this by intentionally seeking out fresh perspectives. For example, viewing familiar routines with curiosity or expressing gratitude for overlooked comforts like running water or electricity. In summary, gratitude is much more than a fleeting emotion. It's a practice that transforms how you see and interact with the world. By consistently seeking and appreciating the good in your life, you cultivate joy, resilience, and connection. Each expression of gratitude, whether written, spoken, or silently acknowledged, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward fulfillment. So today I invite you to commit to one act of gratitude. Write in a journal, thank someone who matters to you, or simply pause to notice the abundance around you. Trust that these small efforts will compound over time, leading to profound changes in your outlook and experience. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with embracing the power of gratitude. Chapter 7. Living Ethically. The 5 Precepts. Ethical living is a cornerstone of personal growth and spiritual development, and in Buddhism, it's guided by the 5 precepts, a set of principles designed to cultivate harmony, compassion, and integrity. These precepts aren't rigid commandments, but rather guidelines for making choices that benefit both ourselves and others. Today we'll explore how embracing these ethical teachings can help you improve your life by 1% every day, fostering a sense of purpose, connection, and inner peace. The 5 precepts are simple yet profound. Abstain from harming living beings, stealing, sexual misconduct, false speech, and intoxication. At first glance, they might seem like basic moral rules, but their depth lies in their intention: to reduce suffering and promote well-being for all. Each precept serves as a mirror, reflecting our actions and encouraging us to align with values of kindness, honesty, and mindfulness. By committing to these principles, even imperfectly, you create a foundation for ethical living that enriches your relationships, strengthens your character, and contributes to a more compassionate world. Let's begin with the first precept: refraining from harming living beings. This principle extends beyond physical violence to encompass thoughts, words, and actions that cause harm. It invites us to cultivate non-violence, ahimsa, in all aspects of life. For example, instead of lashing out in anger during an argument, you might pause and respond with empathy. Similarly, this precept encourages us to consider the impact of our choices on animals and the environment. Many people interpret this as a call to adopt vegetarianism or veganism, while others focus on reducing waste or supporting sustainable practices. Regardless of how you apply it, the underlying message is clear: treat all forms of life with respect and care. The second precept, refraining from stealing, goes beyond avoiding theft in the traditional sense. It challenges us to examine whether our actions exploit or disadvantage others. For instance, do you take credit for someone else's work? Do you use resources responsibly, or do you hoard them unnecessarily? This precept also invites reflection on systemic injustices, such as economic inequality or environmental degradation, urging us to contribute to solutions rather than perpetuating harm. Practicing generosity, Dana, is a natural extension of this precept. By sharing what we have, whether time, energy, or material goods, we foster trust and mutual support. The third precept addresses sexual misconduct, which encompasses any behavior that violates trust, consent, or respect in intimate relationships. In a broader sense, this precept calls for mindful engagement in all forms of human connection. It asks us to reflect on how our actions affect others emotionally and psychologically. For example, do we flirt recklessly, knowing it may cause confusion or hurt? Do we prioritize our own desires over the well-being of a partner? By approaching relationships with honesty and integrity, we build foundations of trust and mutual understanding. This not only enhances personal bonds, but also promotes healthier communities. The fourth precept, refraining from false speech, encourages truthfulness, clarity, and sincerity in communication. It's about more than avoiding outright lies. It includes refraining from gossip, exaggeration, or manipulative language. Think about how often we distort reality to protect ourselves, impress others, or avoid conflict. While such behaviors might offer short-term relief, they erode trust and create unnecessary complications. Practicing truthful speech requires courage and self-awareness. Before speaking, ask yourself, is this kind? Is it necessary? Does it serve the greater good? By aligning your words with your intentions, you strengthen authenticity and deepen connections. The fifth precept, refraining from intoxication, urges moderation and mindfulness in consuming substances that cloud judgment or impair awareness. Traditionally, this refers to alcohol and drugs, but it can also apply to anything that numbs us to reality, such as excessive screen time, compulsive shopping, or overeating. The goal isn't abstinence, but balance. When we indulge without restraint, we lose touch with our values and responsibilities, potentially causing harm to ourselves and others. By practicing moderation, we reclaim agency over our minds and actions, ensuring that we remain present and accountable. Now let's discuss how to integrate these precepts into daily life. One approach is to adopt them incrementally, focusing on one at a time. For example, you might start by reflecting on the first precept, harming no living beings, and identifying areas where you can practice greater compassion. Perhaps you'll commit to eating plant-based meals once a week, volunteering at an animal shelter, or simply being gentler in your interactions. Once you feel comfortable with this precept, move on to the next, gradually building a lifestyle rooted in ethical awareness. Another strategy is to view the precepts as invitations rather than obligations. They're not about achieving perfection, but about striving toward alignment with your highest ideals. Mistakes will happen, it's part of being human, but what matters is your willingness to learn and grow. For instance, if you slip up and say something unkind, acknowledge it, apologize if needed, and resolve to do better next time. This attitude of humility and accountability strengthens your commitment to ethical living. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in upholding the precepts. When you act mindfully, you become more attuned to the consequences of your choices, allowing you to make decisions that align with your values. For example, before purchasing an item, you might consider its environmental impact or whether it was produced ethically. Similarly, before engaging in conversation, you might reflect on whether your words will uplift or diminish others. Over time, this heightened awareness transforms habits, making ethical behavior feel natural and intuitive. Living ethically also fosters resilience and emotional well-being. When your actions are grounded in integrity, you develop a strong sense of self-worth and confidence. You no longer need external validation because you know you're doing your best to contribute positively. Additionally, ethical living reduces guilt and regret, freeing you to focus on meaningful pursuits. Imagine going to bed each night knowing you've acted with kindness and honesty. How much lighter would your heart feel? Beyond personal benefits, ethical living has far-reaching effects on society. Every choice you make ripples outward, influencing those around you. For example, when you speak truthfully, you inspire others to do the same. When you act with compassion, you encourage empathy and cooperation. Collectively, these small acts create a culture of trust, respect, and mutual support. Consider movements advocating for social justice, environmental sustainability, or mental health awareness. They're built on individuals choosing to live ethically and inspiring others to join them. It's important to recognize that ethical living isn't always easy. There will be moments when convenience conflicts with conscience, or when societal pressures challenge your resolve. During these times, remind yourself why the precepts matter, not just for your own growth, but for the well-being of others. Draw strength from the knowledge that every effort counts, even if it seems insignificant. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with making conscious, compassionate choices. Finally, let's address the spiritual dimension of ethical living. In Buddhism, the precepts are seen as stepping stones toward enlightenment, a state of liberation characterized by wisdom, compassion, and freedom from suffering. While attaining enlightenment may not be your immediate goal, the principles underlying the precepts offer valuable insights for modern life. They remind us that true happiness arises not from selfish pursuits, but from contributing to the welfare of all beings. By practicing ethical living, you align yourself with these timeless truths, deepening your understanding of interconnectedness and purpose. In summary, living ethically through the framework of the 5 precepts empowers you to navigate life with greater awareness, integrity, and compassion. By committing to these principles, even in small ways, you create a ripple effect that benefits both yourself and the world around you. Each ethical choice, whether refraining from harmful words, acting with generosity, or practicing moderation, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward wholeness. So today I invite you to reflect on one area of your life where you can embody the precepts more fully. Choose one action that aligns with your values, however small, and observe how it feels to live with greater intention and purpose. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with embracing the power of ethical living. Chapter 8. Embracing imperfection. Perfection is an illusion, a mirage that promises fulfillment but delivers frustration. In Buddhism, this truth is embodied in the concept of anicca, or impermanence, which reminds us that nothing in life remains static, flawless, or unchanging. Yet, despite this universal reality, many of us cling to the idea that perfection is attainable, whether in our work, relationships, appearance, or achievements. This pursuit often leads to stress, self-criticism, and a sense of inadequacy. Today we'll explore how embracing imperfection can help you improve your life by 1% every day, fostering self-compassion, resilience, and freedom from unnecessary suffering. To begin, let's unpack why the quest for perfection is so pervasive and so damaging. From a young age, we're conditioned to strive for excellence, often equating success with flawlessness. Schools reward high grades, workplaces celebrate top performers, and social media glorifies curated versions of reality. While aiming for growth and improvement is admirable, the relentless pursuit of perfection creates unrealistic expectations. When we inevitably fall short, we label ourselves as failures, overlooking the value of effort, progress, and learning. Over time, this mindset erodes confidence and stifles creativity, leaving us paralyzed by fear of mistakes. Buddhism offers a radically different perspective. Imperfection is not something to fix or overcome, it's an inherent part of existence. Consider the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold lacquer, highlighting cracks rather than hiding them. This practice celebrates flaws as integral to an object's history and beauty. Similarly, when we embrace our own imperfections, we recognize them as evidence of growth, resilience, and humanity. They remind us that we're works in progress, constantly evolving through experiences both joyful and challenging. One of the most liberating aspects of embracing imperfection is the shift it brings to self-perception. Instead of viewing yourself as flawed or insufficient, you begin to see yourself as whole and worthy, exactly as you are. This doesn't mean settling for mediocrity or abandoning personal growth. It means approaching your journey with kindness and curiosity, rather than judgment and pressure. For example, imagine setting a goal to meditate daily. If you miss a session, instead of berating yourself, you acknowledge the lapse and recommit without guilt. This compassionate approach sustains motivation and prevents burnout. Let's delve deeper into practical ways to cultivate acceptance of imperfection. One powerful method is practicing self-compassion, which involves treating yourself with the same care and understanding you'd offer a close friend. Research shows that self-compassion reduces anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy, while enhancing emotional resilience and overall well-being. To develop this skill, try the following exercise. The next time you make a mistake or feel disappointed, pause and ask yourself, what would I say to someone I love in this situation? Then, direct those same words of encouragement toward yourself. Over time, this practice softens harsh inner dialogue, replacing criticism with support. Another technique is reframing failure as feedback. Rather than seeing setbacks as indicators of inadequacy, view them as opportunities to learn and adapt. For instance, if a project at work doesn't go as planned, reflect on what went wrong and how you can improve moving forward. This mindset shift transforms obstacles into stepping stones, empowering you to take risks and innovate without fear of judgment. It also aligns with Buddhist teachings on non-attachment, letting go of rigid outcomes and embracing the process of discovery. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in embracing imperfection. When you bring awareness to the present moment, you stop comparing yourself to idealized standards or dwelling on past regrets. You simply observe what is without labeling it as good or bad. For example, during meditation, instead of striving for a perfect session free of distractions, notice when your mind wanders and gently guide it back to your breath. Each return represents a small victory, an act of patience and perseverance. Similarly, in daily life, mindfulness helps you appreciate the richness of ordinary moments, whether savoring a meal, listening to music, or watching clouds drift across the sky. These experiences ground you in the here and now, reducing the urge to chase unattainable ideals. It's worth noting that embracing imperfection isn't synonymous with complacency. Growth still matters, but it should stem from intrinsic motivation rather than external validation. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? Why do I want to improve this aspect of my life? By clarifying your intentions, you ensure that your efforts align with your values, fostering authenticity and purpose. For instance, if you're working on fitness goals, focus on how exercise makes you feel stronger and more energized, rather than striving for societal standards of beauty. This internal alignment sustains long-term commitment and satisfaction. Beyond personal benefits, embracing imperfection strengthens relationships and communities. When we accept our own flaws, we become more forgiving and empathetic toward others' shortcomings. We realize that everyone struggles, stumbles, and strives for connection, creating space for vulnerability and mutual support. Imagine sharing a mistake with a friend and receiving understanding instead of judgment. Such exchanges deepen trust and foster genuine bonds, reminding us that we're not alone in our imperfections. Let's discuss how embracing imperfection intersects with ethical living. In Buddhism, recognizing imperfection fosters humility and gratitude. When we acknowledge our limitations, we let go of arrogance and ego-driven desires, opening ourselves to collaboration and service. For example, volunteering at a local shelter or mentoring someone in need reflects an understanding that we all have strengths and weaknesses, and that contributing to others' well-being enriches our own lives. This spirit of generosity and interdependence lies at the heart of ethical living. A particularly impactful exercise is reflecting on the impermanence of perfection itself. Everything changes, skills fade, trends evolve, and bodies age. Even achievements once deemed perfect lose their luster over time. By internalizing this truth, you release the pressure to maintain an unsustainable standard. Instead, you celebrate fleeting moments of excellence, knowing they're part of a larger tapestry of growth and transformation. Finally, let's address common barriers to embracing imperfection. One challenge is comparison, especially in today's hyper-connected world. Social media amplifies unrealistic portrayals of success, beauty, and happiness, making it easy to feel inadequate. To counteract this, curate your digital environment by following accounts that promote authenticity and diversity. Limit screen time and prioritize real-world connections where imperfections are visible and celebrated. Another obstacle is fear of judgment. Many people hesitate to share their struggles or vulnerabilities, fearing rejection or ridicule. Combat this by surrounding yourself with supportive individuals who value honesty and empathy. Gradually, you'll build confidence in expressing your true self, flaws, and all. In summary, embracing imperfection is a transformative practice that liberates you from the tyranny of unrealistic expectations. By accepting yourself and others as inherently imperfect, yet infinitely valuable, you cultivate compassion, resilience, and joy. Each act of self-acceptance, whether forgiving a mistake, reframing failure, or celebrating progress, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward wholeness. So today I invite you to reflect on one area of your life where you can let go of the need for perfection. Choose one action that honors your humanity, however small, and observe how it feels to live with greater ease and authenticity. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with embracing the beauty of imperfection. Chapter 9. Creating Sacred Rituals. Rituals are powerful tools for grounding ourselves in the present moment, infusing our days with meaning, and fostering a sense of connection to ourselves, others, and something greater than ourselves. In Buddhism, rituals often take the form of meditation, chanting, or offering incense, but their essence lies in intentionality and mindfulness. These practices remind us to pause amidst life's chaos and honor the sacredness of each moment. Today we'll explore how creating your own sacred rituals can help you improve your life by 1% every day, providing structure, stability, and a deeper appreciation for the ordinary. To understand why rituals matter, let's first examine their purpose. At their core, rituals are acts imbued with significance. They transform routine actions into opportunities for reflection, gratitude, and presence. Think about lighting a candle at dinner, saying grace before a meal, or taking a few deep breaths before starting your day. These small gestures anchor you in the here and now, helping you transition from one state of being to another. They create a rhythm in your life, marking beginnings, endings, and transitions with care and attention. In Buddhism, rituals serve as reminders of impermanent compassion and interconnectedness. For example, bowing before sitting down to meditate isn't just a gesture of respect. It's an acknowledgement of humility and gratitude for the teachings that guide practitioners on their path. Similarly, offering flowers or incense at a shrine symbolizes devotion and the transient beauty of existence. These symbolic acts deepen awareness and cultivate reverence, qualities that enrich both spiritual practice and daily living. Now let's break down how you can create your own sacred rituals, tailored to your unique needs and values. The key is to choose activities that resonate with you personally, whether they're rooted in tradition inspired by nature or entirely original, and approach them with mindfulness and intention. Here are some ideas to get started. One simple yet profound ritual is setting aside time each morning for self-care. This doesn't have to be elaborate. It could involve brewing a cup of tea, journaling 3 things you're grateful for, or stretching gently while focusing on your breath. By dedicating even 5 minutes to this practice, you set a positive tone for the rest of your day. Over time, these moments become touchstones of calm and clarity, reminding you to prioritize your well-being no matter how busy life gets. Another meaningful ritual is creating a sacred space in your home, a corner reserved for quiet reflection, creativity, or prayer. This space doesn't need to be large or ornate. A cozy chair with a blanket, a small altar with candles or stones, or even a windowsill adorned with plants can suffice. What matters is that it feels inviting and peaceful, a place where you can retreat to recharge and reconnect. Spend a few minutes there each day, whether reading, meditating, or simply sitting in silence. As you nurture this space, it becomes a sanctuary that supports your growth and resilience. Mealtime rituals also hold immense potential for cultivating mindfulness and gratitude. Instead of rushing through meals or eating mindlessly in front of screens, treat each meal as an opportunity to slow down and savor the experience. Begin by expressing thanks for the food itself, the hands that prepared it, and the nourishment it provides. Then focus on the flavors, textures, and aromas as you eat, chewing slowly and deliberately. Not only does this practice enhance digestion and satisfaction, but it also fosters a deeper appreciation for the abundance in your life. For those who enjoy creative expression, incorporating art or writing into your daily routine can function as a ritual. Whether it's sketching in a notebook, playing music, or crafting poetry, these acts allow you to channel emotions, process experiences, and connect with your inner world. Approach them not as tasks to complete, but as explorations to relish. Even if you're not particularly skilled, the act of creation itself is transformative, opening doors to insight and joy. Nature-based rituals offer another avenue for connection and renewal. Consider spending time outdoors each day, whether walking barefoot on grass, tending to a garden, or watching the sunset. Use these moments to tune into the rhythms of the natural world, the rustle of leaves, the warmth of sunlight, the coolness of rain. By immersing yourself in nature, you tap into a timeless cycle of change and continuity, gaining perspective on your place within the larger web of life. Even mundane tasks like washing dishes or folding laundry can become rituals when approached with presence and care. Instead of viewing them as chores, see them as opportunities to practice mindfulness. Feel the temperature of the water, notice the texture of fabric, or listen to the sounds around you. When you bring full attention to these activities, they lose their monotony and reveal hidden beauty. The beauty of rituals lies in their adaptability. You can tailor them to fit any aspect of your life. If you're looking to strengthen relationships, consider establishing shared rituals with loved ones. For instance, designate a weekly family dinner where everyone puts away devices and engages in meaningful conversation. Or start a tradition of exchanging letters or notes of appreciation with a partner or friend. These practices foster intimacy and reinforce bonds, ensuring that connections remain strong despite life's demands. It's important to note that rituals don't have to be static. They can evolve alongside you. Perhaps a morning meditation practice shifts to evening as your schedule changes, or a seasonal ritual celebrates the turning of the year. Flexibility allows rituals to stay relevant and impactful, adapting to new circumstances while retaining their essence. Let's discuss how rituals intersect with mindfulness and ethical living. When performed with awareness, rituals amplify their benefits, grounding you in the present moment and aligning your actions with your values. For example, lighting incense or a candle can serve as a reminder to cultivate kindness throughout the day. Offering food to someone in need can symbolize gratitude for your own blessings. By weaving mindfulness and ethics into your rituals, you create a holistic framework for personal growth and contribution. A particularly impactful exercise is reflecting on the symbolism behind your rituals. Why do certain actions feel meaningful to you? What emotions or memories do they evoke? Exploring these questions deepens your understanding of yourself and enhances the power of your practices. For instance, if journaling brings comfort, you might realize it's because putting thoughts into words helps you process challenges and celebrate victories. Recognizing this connection strengthens your commitment to the ritual. Finally, let's address common barriers to maintaining rituals. One challenge is consistency. Life's unpredictability can disrupt routines, making it difficult to stick to planned activities. To overcome this, keep your rituals flexible and adaptable. If you miss a session, don't judge yourself. Simply resume whenever possible. Another obstacle is skepticism. Some people dismiss rituals as unnecessary or superstitious. Combat this by focusing on the tangible benefits they bring, such as reduced stress, increased focus, and enhanced emotional regulation. Over time, experiencing these outcomes firsthand will solidify your belief in their value. In summary, creating sacred rituals empowers you to navigate life with greater intention, presence, and joy. By transforming ordinary actions into extraordinary moments, you cultivate a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. Each ritual, whether lighting a candle, sharing a meal, or walking in nature, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward wholeness. So today I invite you to design a ritual that speaks to your heart. Choose one action that feels meaningful, however small, and observe how it enriches your life. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with honoring the sacredness of the everyday. Chapter 10: Consistency over Intensity. One of the most misunderstood aspects of personal growth is the belief that dramatic, sweeping changes are necessary to achieve meaningful results. In reality, lasting transformation often comes not from grand gestures, but from consistent, incremental efforts over time. This principle, consistency over intensity, is a cornerstone of Buddhist teachings and serves as a guiding philosophy for improving your life by 1% every day. Today, we'll explore why small, steady actions are far more effective than sporadic bursts of effort, how they compound into extraordinary outcomes, and how you can cultivate the discipline to stay committed to your goals. To understand the power of consistency, let's first examine why intensity often fails us. When we set ambitious resolutions or try to overhaul our lives overnight, we're setting ourselves up for disappointment. For example, imagine deciding to exercise for 2 hours every day, meditate for an hour, and read 3 books a week, all starting tomorrow. While these intentions may stem from genuine motivation, they're unsustainable without proper preparation or gradual implementation. Within days or even hours, you'll likely feel overwhelmed, frustrated, or burned out, leading you to abandon your efforts altogether. Intensity demands too much too soon, leaving little room for flexibility or adaptation. Consistency, on the other hand, prioritizes manageable actions performed regularly. Instead of committing to an unrealistic workout regimen, you might start with 10 minutes of stretching each morning. Rather than aiming to read dozens of books in a month, you could dedicate 15 minutes daily to reading just a few pages. These small steps may seem insignificant at first, but their cumulative impact is profound. Think about brushing your teeth. It takes mere minutes each day, yet its effects on dental health are undeniable. Similarly, consistent practices in areas like mindfulness, fitness, or learning gradually shape your habits, mindset, and overall well-being. In Buddhism, this concept is reflected in the idea of sila, or ethical conduct, which emphasizes the importance of right action practiced consistently. It's not about achieving moral perfection in one fell swoop. It's about making thoughtful choices repeatedly until they become second nature. For instance, refraining from harmful speech doesn't mean never saying anything unkind again. It means noticing when harsh words arise and choosing gentler alternatives instead. Each mindful decision reinforces ethical behavior, creating a foundation for long-term growth. Let's delve deeper into why consistency works so effectively. One reason is that it builds momentum. Every time you complete a task, even a minor one, you generate a sense of accomplishment that fuels further action. This creates a positive feedback loop. Success breeds confidence, which inspires continued effort. For example, if you write one paragraph a day, you'll eventually have a full essay or story. If you save a small amount of money monthly, you'll accumulate savings over years. These incremental wins add up, proving that progress doesn't require Herculean feats, it requires perseverance. Another advantage of consistency is its compatibility with human psychology. Our brains thrive on routine and predictability. When we establish regular patterns, we reduce cognitive load, freeing mental energy for creativity, problem solving, and enjoyment. Consider how much easier mornings feel when you've established a simple routine versus scrambling to figure out what to do next. Consistent habits also help regulate emotions, reducing anxiety and increasing resilience. By knowing what to expect and trusting the process, you create stability in an otherwise unpredictable world. Now, let's discuss practical strategies for cultivating consistency. One of the most effective approaches is breaking larger goals into smaller, actionable steps. For instance, if you want to develop a meditation practice, start with just 2 minutes a day. Once that feels comfortable, increase the duration incrementally. Similarly, if you aim to eat healthier, focus on swapping one unhealthy snack for a nutritious alternative rather than revamping your entire diet. By keeping tasks bite-sized, you minimize resistance and make it easier to stick with them. Accountability is another powerful tool for maintaining consistency. Share your goals with a trusted friend, join a community with similar interests, or use apps and journals to track your progress. Knowing that someone else is aware of your commitments, or simply having a record of your efforts, can motivate you to follow through. Additionally, celebrating milestones along the way reinforces positive behaviors. Whether it's treating yourself to something special after a month of consistent effort, or simply acknowledging your achievements internally, recognition keeps you engaged and inspired. Mindfulness plays a critical role in sustaining consistency. When you approach tasks mindfully, you fully engage with the present moment, reducing distractions and enhancing focus. For example, if you're practicing gratitude journaling, immerse yourself in the experience. Feel the pen gliding across the paper, savor the act of reflecting on blessings, and notice how your mood shifts afterward. This level of presence ensures that each action is intentional and fulfilling, making it easier to repeat. It's worth noting that consistency doesn't mean monotony. Variety within structure can prevent boredom and keep you motivated. For instance, if you're working on physical fitness, alternate between different forms of exercise, yoga one day, walking the next, and strength training the following. If you're exploring creative pursuits, experiment with various mediums like drawing, writing, or photography. The key is to maintain a core commitment while allowing flexibility to adapt and innovate. Let's address how consistency intersects with imperfection and self-compassion. No journey is linear, and setbacks are inevitable. What matters isn't avoiding mistakes, but recovering quickly and continuing forward. For example, if you miss a day of meditation, don't view it as failure, simply resume the next day. Treat yourself with kindness and understanding, recognizing that consistency is about showing up over time, not being perfect every single moment. This compassionate mindset prevents discouragement and sustains long-term engagement. Beyond personal benefits, consistency fosters trust and reliability in relationships and communities. When others see that you consistently honor your word or contribute positively, they're more likely to collaborate with you, support your endeavors, and emulate your behavior. For instance, consistently volunteering at a local shelter demonstrates dedication and inspires others to join the cause. Similarly, consistently communicating openly and honestly strengthens bonds and builds mutual respect. A particularly impactful exercise is reflecting on the compounding effect of consistency. Picture planting a tree. Each day you water it and care for it, nurturing its growth. Initially, the changes are barely visible, but over months and years the tree flourishes, providing shade, beauty, and oxygen. Your efforts, whether related to health, relationships, or personal development, function in much the same way. They may not yield immediate results, but their cumulative impact transforms your life in ways you couldn't predict. Finally, let's tackle common barriers to consistency. One challenge is procrastination, driven by fear of inadequacy or overwhelm. To combat this, adopt the 2-minute rule. If a task can be done in under 2 minutes, do it immediately. If it requires more time, commit to starting it for just 2 minutes. Often beginning is the hardest part, and once you're underway, inertia carries you forward. Another obstacle is lack of clarity, uncertainty about what to prioritize or how to proceed. Combat this by setting specific, measurable goals and mapping out concrete steps to achieve them. Finally, external distractions can derail consistency. Create boundaries around your time and space, minimizing interruptions and staying focused on your priorities. In summary, consistency over intensity is a powerful philosophy for sustainable growth and fulfillment. By embracing small, steady actions performed regularly, you unlock the potential for extraordinary transformation. Each consistent effort, whether meditating, exercising, or expressing gratitude, represents a 1% improvement in your journey toward wholeness. So today I invite you to identify one area of your life where you can commit to consistency. Choose one action that aligns with your values, however small, and observe how it compounds over time. Remember, improving your life by 1% every day starts with showing up 1% at a time. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored today. From mindfulness and meditation to compassion, gratitude, and ethical living, these practices offer timeless wisdom for navigating life's challenges with grace and purpose. Each chapter has been an invitation to embrace small, intentional changes, reminding us that improving our lives by just 1% every day is not only achievable, but transformative. Remember, the beauty of this approach lies in its simplicity. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight or achieve perfection to make meaningful progress. All it takes is showing up consistently, even in tiny ways. Whether it's taking a few deep breaths before starting your day, expressing gratitude for something you might otherwise overlook, or choosing kindness over judgment, every action matters. These small steps compound over time, creating ripples that extend far beyond what you can see in the moment. I want to leave you with a thought. Growth isn't about reaching some distant destination. It's about becoming the best version of yourself right here, right now. It's about learning to find joy in the process, peace in the present, and meaning in the everyday. So as you move forward, carry these principles with you, not as rigid rules, but as gentle guides. Trust that each effort, no matter how small, contributes to the larger tapestry of your life. If there's one thing I hope you'll take away from this video, it's this. You have the power to shape your reality, one mindful choice at a time. The tools we've discussed aren't reserved for monks or spiritual gurus. They're accessible to everyone, including you. All it takes is a willingness to try, to stumble, and to keep going. Before we part ways, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this exploration. If you found value in this video, please consider subscribing to the Mindful Zone and sharing it with someone who might benefit. Together, let's spread peace, positivity, and practical wisdom to help others thrive. As you step back into your day or perhaps wind down for the evening, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to improve my life by 1%? Maybe it's setting aside 5 minutes for meditation, writing down 3 things you're grateful for, or simply smiling at someone new. Whatever it is, trust that it matters, because when you string together enough of these small, intentional actions, you create a life that reflects the best version of yourself. Thank you again for being here, for listening, reflecting, and committing to your growth. Until next time, take care of yourself, and may your path be filled with light, love, and endless possibilities. Namaste.